Hello, Facebook. I think we're live. In traditional style, I seem to choose to do these events when Mercury's in retrograde. I don't even know Mercury's in retrograde until I do the event and everything goes wrong. So here we are. It's all perfect. Let me come and tag everybody. Oh, come and say hello as you're joining. I love it. Amazing. You found me quicker than I found you. Okay, bear with me 1 second while I tag everyone. It is done. Then let me also open this so I can see, because, okay, here's what's happened. StreamYard lost connection with my Facebook. So it took me ages to log on. And now I can't see anyone's names, but it's all right, it's on my phone. Let me just have a little look, see what's going on. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Lisa. I'm here at the moment just waiting for my train. Amazing. Hey, Laura. Hey, Lauren. Love your earrings. Thank you. Can you see? Can see you on the mobile, but not on the laptop. Mercury. Hey, what can I say? Mercury's got to do what Mercury's got to do. So, welcome. For those of you who know, I have been ill with pneumonia. So, you might have me coughing at different times or just clearing my throat, but I am a lot better than I was, so it's all good. And we're going to talk today about your business in HD. I'm super excited to share this with you because, oh, hey, Kaz, I can see your name on StreamYard. It's a miracle. Thank you, Mercury. So I'm super excited about this training because there's so many things that are happening in the world, the online space, the coaching industry, all of the things. There's so many things going on that means that it can feel like it's a little bit harder than it used to be to grow your business. And I'm very intentional with my words. For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are new to my world, I'm very intentional with my words. So when I say harder, that is a consciously chosen word that I don't want it to cast a spell on what is going on. It's more that let's recognize that this is what is happening. So what I'm going to share with you today is going to kind of move through some of that, what is happening, how you can start to work in your business to release some of that, all the words that came into my head. I'm like, no, not those words. To release some of the things that don't serve you in your business and really tune into what serves you. And we're going to go through, I've got slides and stuff because I want to show you different models and I want to make sure I say everything. And I want to make sure that it's not just another thing that you come to. I want to make sure that this is really actionable, that you can walk away after this session and implement those things in your business, or at least be aware of those things, so that you can move forward and create that business that you desire. Create the business that has the freedom of time, money, space, and actually feels amazing in the process. Who is here for that? Let me know who's here for that while I just kind of get organized at my end. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Anna. Hey, Jess. How are you, lovely? Oh, good morning from Eastern Canada. Hey, that's beautiful. It's so nice to see where everyone's joining in from. Hey, Katie, how are you, lovely? So let me know who's here for that. Who's ready to release what no longer serves them? And you know what's really funny? I was planning this masterclass with a mentor the other day, and she was like, "Well, it was a couple weeks ago." She's like, "When are you going to do it?" I said, "I need to look at the calendar." I was like, "Maybe Wednesday, but I need to look at the calendar." And so I looked at the calendar, and I was drawn straight away into today. And I never know about astrology events until it gets to that, like, okay, everything's wonky. What is going on? And so I didn't realize that today was a new moon. And so it's new moon and eclipse season. I'm like, well, of course, this is perfect timing. I'm here for it. Amazing. Okay, let me share my screen because I know that lots of you have got school runs and all the things. So I don't want this to go on a long time, but I have put a lot of information in here. So let's see what happens. I guess you can all see that. It's not helpful for my comments, actually. I'm going to look at the comments here. Okay, so how your business in human design, how to amplify your business success, increase demand, and become the only choice for your dream clients. This is the vibe of today. And I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to go through this super quick, this beginning bit, because I don't want to like be all in the intro and stuff. So I'm going to tell you the one strategy that grows your business faster than any other, guaranteed. I'm not designed to be guaranteeing things, but this one I can guarantee. Become the standout choice in your industry with a queue of dream clients on your wait list. And while everyone is dropping their prices, recession strategy, find out how you can charge higher and grow your business no matter what the economy is doing. So to let you know, I'm a generator, so you can drop your interactions, comments, questions, whatever into the chat, and I'll respond to those as we go. This is super interactive. Get what you need from this space. So this is not an ordinary masterclass. I mean, I love this thing with SpongeBob. My brain desperately trying to clean itself of the useless information I collected today before I wake and collect more. And this is the thing, that there's so much information in the online space. And my intention is not to add to that noise, but to give you the tools and the awareness and the understanding so that you can shed the noise that actually doesn't serve you, that can release the things that are not of service to you or your business. So this is for you and honestly, if you don't resonate with any of these statements, then maybe go do something else with your next hour, because I want to make sure that you're not listening to this going, why am I even here? I want to make sure that you're listening to this with the open intention of, this is going to be truly transformational and I cannot wait to see how I can implement this in my business. So be really clear. 100%, Anna, it's going to apply to you no matter what your human design type is. And that is my bag, right? So it's perfect. So be really clear if this is for you. If you don't answer yes to at least one of these statements, then there's probably better things you can do with your time, and time is precious. You can go spend it somewhere else. And I'm not saying that because I want you to go, because I don't. I'd love you to stay, but I also am very conscious about people's time, which is why I'm going to make sure this is totally value packed for you as well. So this is for you. If you spend most of your time trying to crack the business code, you spend most of your money on trainings that rarely bring you the answer. You know, we're always in search of the answer. You are overwhelmed, confused, and lack clarity about how you move forward, or you're disappointed by the lack of consistent impact and income you have in your business. And you see how the industry is changing and know you have to do something different. So if this resonates with you, I'm going to have a little look now and see how many people are still live after I'm like, go do something else. Okay, I think this resonates with most of you. Amazing. Okay, so this is designed to take you from Brittany in her breakdown days to Brittany in her queen days, right? This is designed to take you from this confusion, overwhelm, don't know how to move forward, and bring you into a place of not only clarity, but like the confidence in that, the certainty in that, the way ahead and the empowerment along that journey. So hey, Lisa MG. Yeah, I love it. Yes. So I'm not going to give you a whole rags to riches story. I totally could. A kind of hero's journey, I could, but I'm not going to. I think I'm going to just condense this to what is super important. So I'm a 5-2 sacral generator. I've got over 22 years marketing experience. I know it's hard to believe when I look so young. Marketing degree and an MBA, corporate career. I've lectured at a master's level, and I've been in business for over 11 years. To begin with, that was marketing agency, and in 2018 transitioned to alignment in business, which wasn't a big thing in 2018. For those of you who are in business, 2018, like it was searching for gold dust at that time. So I'm also a #1 Amazon author, an embodied human design expert, and a world schooling mama. The reason I'm telling you this is because obviously, for those of you who don't know who I am or you've not interacted with me as much, I obviously want you to know who I am, but I don't want to like really drone on about, you know, as you go to a lot of masterclasses and there's like 20 minutes of this is my journey and this is my story. But what is really important that I want you to pull out of this is that I really know my stuff when it comes to business, and I really know my stuff when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I really know my stuff when it comes to human design, embodiment, and energetics. Like I've done the work in so many different ways. So you are in safe hands with all of those pieces. This is my son, Archie. This is when we were in Bali, actually. We traveled a lot and world schooled. So this is Archie. He's 11 now, so he doesn't do cute photos like this anymore. And he's manifestor. He's a 2-4 manifestor. So he teaches me a lot. Let's put it that way, as all our kids do. Okay, so to share with you a little gift, I wanted to give you a free human design business audit, which sells for, I was going to say it's worth £199. It's actually worth a whole lot more, but it is on sale for £199 if you stay until the end. And I'm going to promise to do my best to make sure that we finish within the hour so that you can stay and see the end, which will mean that I move fast. So ask me your questions. And if I miss your questions, then I will always come back to them afterwards. This is going to guide you to exactly where your business is energetically or strategically or both out of alignment and how you can bring it back. It's going to give you a guide to the things that you need to focus on versus the things you think you need to focus on. Who's excited to get a business audit? Who is like, okay, yeah, I'm staying for this. Maybe most people are staying because of this versus any of the other things actually resonated when I said, this is for you if. Hey, Sarah, lovely to have you here. So let me know who is excited to have my eyes and my intuition on your business. That's amazing. Oh, thanks, Jess. Hey, Linda. Amazing. Okay, fabulous. You've got to stay until the end and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get this. But like I said, I'm going to promise to move through this quick. Okay, so let's start with your number one strategy. There are so many different strategies in the online space. Like everywhere you look, there's a new proven blueprint, there's a new proven formula, there's a new system, there's a new something. And I think that if you have been in business for a hot minute, then you buy those courses and you go into it and you're like, yeah, but this is the same as the other courses, or it's a similar kind of thing, because there is nothing that is different in business, really. And I want to really simplify this for you and say, the thing that is going to serve you the most is to bring business back to a place of simplicity. We as humans complicate everything. And when it's a place that is not your natural zone of genius, like business, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we still complicate things. We still are kind of overwhelmed with everything that's happening now. I heard a statistic the other day that says that what we receive into our brain in terms of information is the same that we would have got in the whole of our lifetime 100 years ago. Now, is it any wonder that we're overwhelmed, we're confused, we don't know which way to go, we've got decision fatigue, we haven't got any clarity, and then there's more and more noise adding to that all of the time. So we've got to really bring it back to, how do we simplify this? Now, I'll tell you one thing to really mantra into your awareness before we go into your number one strategy is, not your number one strategy, your one strategy, is that business is very simple. It's about connection and conversation. That's it. If you can really master your connection, which is your marketing, and you can then create that really beautiful conversation from that connection, your business will sell out everything. Now, the thing is that we look at it through the lens of, okay, I've got to figure out how to market. I've got to figure out my message, my niche. How do I market? What platform do I do it on? I've got to master selling the DMs and selling the story and funnels and ads. And I've got to know Facebook groups, and I've got to know Reels, and I've got to know TikTok and all of these things. It's like, where do you even start with that? There's so many things. And then that's not even looking at all of the different ways you can sell, all the different ways you can grow your audience. There's so many different ways. There's not just one way. But in this online space, I think we kind of get a bit a bit blinkered, to, okay, well, I have to do it the way that everybody else is doing. Well, you don't. And actually, it's better if you don't do it the way in the way that everybody else is doing it, because then you're looking at somebody who's got a totally different human design to you, which we're going to get to in a minute. But the thing about this is, if you can take one thing away from this session, and you recognize that all business is connection and conversation, and you start to look at, how am I creating connection? Where am I having conversations? It doesn't even need to be like getting on a sales call or that kind of literal conversation, but where are you in conversation with people and saying, hey, this is what I've got. Do you want to buy this? That's it. You don't need all the noise. But here is what is going to make things easier for you, and why you need to know this is that there is strategy confusion. It costs time, it costs energy, it costs focus, and it costs money. Particularly if it costs money in two ways. It costs all of these things in two ways, actually. It costs money, time, energy, focus in the way that you are funneling it into one place or to one training or into one method, but it also is losing it from the place that is actually going to bring you those things: time, energy, focus, and money. And you'll see how I've put time first, because I have been doing a lot of market research. It's not a thing that I usually do. I've been doing a lot. And the more women I speak to, the more they're saying, I just want space. I'm like, I get it. I get it. How many of you here feel like you're working too many hours, that you don't have the capacity for the things that you actually want to do, or the capacity to even focus on the things that you know are going to create that sustainability in your business and all of those pieces? What happens when you have this strategy confusion is that you are creating energetic doubt. So if in your mind you're like, well, I'm going to try this, but there's 10 other ones back up that I can use if this one doesn't work, if this one doesn't work, if this one doesn't work, and I'm really not sure if this is the one for me, but my coach says, or this blueprint says, or I've invested in a course that says this, so I'm going to do this. Imagine what that's doing with your energy. In order to sell, in order to build that connection, to create that conversation, to have that sustainable business, you really have to understand that the certainty in what you're doing, in what you're saying, in how you're selling, in how you're marketing, that is what is going to amplify everything. So if you've got energetic doubt, it's like you do this energetic hokey cokey, right? A little bit in, a little bit out, like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, oh, I'm not sure. Or I'm only sure if I see the results. But you've got to be so empowered and in this energy of certainty in order to move forwards, in order to attract the right people to you and to make those sales easily. Does that make sense? The energetic doubt contracts your energy. Like, imagine if your energy is this sphere all around you. If you've looked at any of the trainings in this group specifically about your human design type, I talk a lot about your auric field. If you are doing the things that are misaligned for you, and if you are doing them in the energy of doubt, then your energy contracts. And imagine then you've got less capacity to receive the money or the people who are ready to work with you. So then your brain goes, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work faster. I'm going to do more. I'm going to start another platform. I'm going to invest in another course. But actually all you're doing is adding more and more things into your energy, which contracts it and takes up the capacity to receive what you desire. Plus it means that you're working harder. Hello, burnout, disappointment, and you're not going to get the sales that you want from that energy. Does this resonate? Does this make sense? Like, I'm hitting you straight with the with the hardcore energetics first. Does this make sense to you? Let me have a little look here. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for the Sovereign Code. Yeah, there's going to be a sales page about the Sovereign Code book soon, because it's actually in print. I've got hard copies. Super excited. We definitely complicate things. Yes. Beautiful. Getting back to simplicity. Yeah. It's my gift. Simplicity is my gift. Literally in my human design, right? Yes, me. Amazing. 100%. Yes, yes. So true. Okay. Fabulous. So here's what the answer is. I mean, none of you are going to be surprised at this point, right? The answer is your human design. Because, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to break this down a little bit, because it was like, sorry. Because I was thinking, the thing about these trainings is I could give you everything and it would make me so happy, but it would be super overwhelming for you. So I was like, what is the most important part to bring out of this? So with your human design, for those of you who are totally new to human design, this is your personal energetic blueprint. It gives you a guide that tells you very specifically how you're designed to interact in the world, how you're designed to communicate, where your magnetism is, what your gifts are. And then from that, we can extrapolate and say, okay, well, from this, I can tell you this is your aligned business model and sustainable. I'm going to talk a lot about sustainability, because I am not here for the, okay, if you want to get rich quick, because that fundamentally fries your nervous system. It throws your energy out of alignment, and it doesn't last unless we're looking at sustainability. I'm all for the fast results, 100%. And I'm going to give you some examples of that as we move through. I'm all for the fast results, but we have to also have that energy of sustainability. We have to have that in mind. And the more space that you can give yourself to integrate some of the energetics, the better it is, the longer lasting it is. So we're going to extrapolate from this your aligned and sustainable business model from your human design. It's literally coded in there. From your human design, we can see very clearly what your magnetic marketing method and message is. I love alliteration. Can you tell? Any other word geeks out there with me? So your magnetic marketing method and message, plus your successful sales strategy. And you can even look at how you're designed to work with funnels, ads, team building, expansion. If you have tried to, one funnel away and all of those things, if you have tried to do that in your business, or you've run ads and it hasn't quite worked, or you've hired people and it hasn't worked, then it's because of your human design. It's not aligned with your human design and your energetics. And from your human design, you'll hear me talk a lot about expansion. This is what other people would call leveling up, or what else do they call it? I can't even think. I call it expansion so much. It's kind of that thing. It's ascension. I don't know, but I call it expansion because fundamentally it's about expanding your auric capacity to receive. And when you go through expansion on a business level, and every single one of you here, you go through expansion all of the time because of the business that you chose to do. If you think about why you're in this business, and people tell me like freedom or money, those kind of things. Yeah, I get it, but there's a million ways you could have created that. You're in this business that you're in because your soul chose for you to experience that expansion at the same time. So all the time you're putting something out to sell, or all the time you're refining your message, or you're going to a deeper level of your message, you're going to a new level of expansion. And that requires an energetic navigation. Who's experienced that? Like when you put things out there and then all of a sudden it feels like it was super aligned and then everything kind of goes wrong, like bam, 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 one thing after another. That is your expansion. And all that is the universe saying, hey, I feel that we're moving forwards in this new direction, or I feel that we're stepping into a new sales, or we're stepping into a new space, or any of those things. We're creating this expansion. So let me help you. And I'm going to help you by really making that energy stable in its expansion. For us, it feels like, what is going wrong? What did I do in a past life? And seriously, I thought this was aligned. Now you're making me question everything. When we can start to understand that, when we can start to really get to the energetics that are going on and navigate that in a way that's empowered, everything changes. And this is all written in your human design. Okay, so for me, this is what I use in the human design business, and it's a really powerful tool. Let me show you how it works. So this sequence has been in my business since 2018. So I've been studying human design since 2019. So this has been in my business since 2018, maybe even 2017, in truth. And what I realized was that I've put the wrong model. Hold on, I can rectify this. I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to grab something. 1 second. It actually works out more perfectly now because I get to show you the board of truth. For those of you who've been in my world for a little while, ta-da, the board of truth. This literally has been in my world since 2018. And then I'll come back to the other slide because it does make sense. Okay, so here's the thing. When we're growing our business, we usually start like up in the masculine, up in our head center, and we're in this place of, okay, I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to get a strategy. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take the actions. Okay, great. But if you create from the masculine, you've got to fulfill that in the masculine. So that means that in order to get to that goal that you desire, you have to keep doing more things. You have to keep looking at the strategy. You have to keep being logical. You are designed to be in the masculine all of the time. That is the fastest ticket to burnout. And also, honestly, and because I had a business that was like that, it's the fastest way to be really disappointed and have no joy in your business and question, what am I doing? Now, questioning what am I doing, that's part of expansion sometimes as well. So that's natural. But if it's all the time, you're too much in the masculine. So the way that we work is this. We start in the feminine. Hold on, I've got to figure out how to position this. We start in the feminine. So we come all the way down here into the feminine, and that is in your body. And you check in with your alignment. What is it that I desire? What am I creating? How many hours do I desire to work? All of these things, they live here. most of the time, we don't look at this until something goes wrong, like we're burnt out or we don't have the capacity to deliver anymore, to make more money. So we have to really look at this first. And then we move into soulmate client, which is your one person that you're marketing to, unless you're an MG. There's kind of different rules for MGs. There's different rules based on your energy type, but I'm not going to go into all of that now because I'm already thinking we're halfway through. We've got a lot to cover. So connection is how you market. Your transformational offer is what you're delivering. Conversation is how you sell. Now, the reason why all of these are sequential is you start here, you move up, then up, then up. If you come to me and say, I can't sell, or I'm not selling, or I'm no good at selling, I'm going to look at every single one of these things here first. Not just, okay, let's look here. Because every single thing that comes beneath any of these also has an impact on what is happening. They also have to be in alignment energetically and strategically. Then we move up to the love story, which is your customer journey. By the way, the line here is because you can create consistent 5-figure months with just this piece. But this is going to make things easier. And this is all about expansion. So you see, we're moving up to the masculine. So we move into love story, which is the customer journey, then creating funnels, and then ads. Actually, this is which way am I going? This has actually changed now into expansion. It's evolved, but this was written with permanent marker. So the structure is still the same. The model is still the same, and it's very powerful. That is how you create a sustainable, aligned business. Take that piece, use that piece. This is how you implement it with your human design as well. We're going to go back to the slides because it's going to make sense now, I hope. Where did I put my... Okay, now I can't find the actual slides. Did you know that Mercury's in retrograde? Seriously. Madness. Okay, here it is. Okay, so all of those parts that I just showed you on the board, they all correlate to parts of your human design. They all have an impact with your human design. So when you understand that, and I've used centers here, there's actually lots of different ways, and I'm going to show you some more ways in a minute. When you understand that, you can see that this is the only blueprint for your aligned business strategy. Each element maps to your human design. Each element is moving across. And so, for example, if you've got a defined route, you're more likely, but it's not like, this is an assumption, it's more likely versus you definitely do, but you're more likely to be more grounded in that alignment and in that sustainability in your energy. If you have an undefined route, you might feel this pressure to do more and to push and to be busy. So that's going to bring you out of alignment instead of slowing down and tuning into it. Does that make sense? That board, right? I'm sorry if I keep cutting in and out. No worries at all. Oh my God, the board of truth. Ta-da! For those of you who are new to my world, the board of truth used to come out on so many trainings, and it would always be accompanied by a ta-da. So I'm getting much better at sticking it out when the things go wrong. Amazing. Hey, Rachel. Okay, so I wanted to give you how you can start to work with this in your own awareness with your own human design. Now, of course, as you can imagine, there's a lot of information and we're not even halfway through, but we're halfway through in time. So I'm going to go super fast. If you have questions, you can ask me and I'll come back to them. If you are a manifestor, we've got any manifestors here? What about reflectors? How do you mean, what about reflectors? Oh, so yeah, so that was only the centers, but we're working with, like I said, there's lots of different ways. So we work with type, we work with centers, we work with different gates, we work with profiles, but that was just an example. And actually it was the wrong picture. I didn't want to put that one on, but anyway, here we are. Have we got any manifestors in the room? So manifestors, if this is you, when I talk about connection, this is like how you market or where you market rather. Like, what is your marketing strategy? Your content style is the vibe you use, and then your conversation is how you sell. So if you're a manifestor, with so I think I just explained that, Frankie. So there's lots of different elements, but obviously there's only so much I can share now. So we always start with type and then we move down into different aspects. And that triangle also maps across to loads of different things. So it's not only the root center, that was just an example. So with a manifestor, you share where your movement begins. So wherever you feel good. So as a manifestor, you're here to share a movement. You're the change maker, you're the trailblazer. So wherever you feel good, that's where your movement begins. Wherever your people are, wherever you're like, okay, I'm in my zone here, that's where you share. Your content style is designed to be really bold, and sharing behind the scenes is also really good for you. Your conversation using evergreen with kind of punches of launch is really powerful for you. So evergreen that supports your consistency and your impact and your income. But then when you're ready and you've got that urge to share a message, and you've got this urge to launch, like I've got something I want to sell, and that's when you do it. But you're supported by the evergreen, right? As a generator, where are my generators at? I'm a generator. You go all in. So you're really like focus on one place that is going to serve you the most. So for me, it's Facebook. That is my one place. It gets repurposed in different ways into different places. But for me, I spend my time on Facebook. I create my content in Facebook. I would rather show up live in Facebook. So you get to really go all in on one place. Your content style is conversational in response. So the more conversational you are, so putting questions in, do you vibe with this? How does this feel? Do you remember when? And just imagine like you're chatting to a friend, but creating your content in response with your sacral is going to be really powerful for you. And then how you sell is live turned into evergreen, generally speaking. And again, there's a million types of generators depending on what's going on in your energy. So this is like one lens to look at it through. So live turned into evergreen is really good because when you're live, you're in response and you've got that lit up energy. So with a manifesting generator, where's my manifesting generators? You flow where you're aligned. You're designed to be like the butterfly. So you're over here and then you're over there, and you're really flowing with the alignment. And the more that you can tune in and do that from a really aligned place versus oh my God, everyone needs to be on TikTok, or oh my God, everyone needs to be on Clubhouse place, then the more aligned it will be. Again, using that conversational aspect and being in response, but also being super bold in your content too. So you've got those bold vibes too. And again, live turned into evergreen is really powerful for you. If you're a projector, I'm loving seeing all your different types here as well. If you're a projector, who's a projector in here? What's really great for you in terms of connection is to borrow other people's audiences, because then you get that recognition that people introduce you into their audience and say, hey, she's, let me see, who is a projector? Leonie. Oh no, Leonie's generator. Okay, for argument's sake, Kirsten, because I know Kirsten's a projector. So Kirsten's a projector. She's amazing at brand photography. This is what she's going to be talking about. So you already have that inbuilt recognition. So the more that you can borrow from other people's audiences, the more that you're able to have that recognition built in, and then other people are doing the work at building the audience for you. You go and share your magic, and then people come and join your audience. Your content style is designed to be deep and insightful and wisdom, because remember, your auric field goes really deep into people's energy, into situations, into what is going on. So that is what you're here to share. Don't keep it surface level. That's not really your vibe. Conversation for you, open enrollment is really powerful. And the more that you're using relationship building strategies, the more impact that is going to create, the more ease it's going to build in your business. If you are a reflector, you share where you feel the most aligned. Like, where do you feel good? Where are your people? Because you're so influenced by the energy around you. You don't want to be around people who bring your energy down. Be in a place that makes you feel amazing and share there. So when you are really tapping into the way that you share, I've put curated and flowing, because your content style is going to be different on every single day, depending on where the transits are, depending on where the energy is, depending on who you're around. So flow with that. Don't feel like you've got to fit yourself into one place. And then in terms of conversation, choose the alignment and the energy that supports your objective and create here. What that means is that when you're selling, when you're sharing, the more that you are embodied in your energy, and the more that you understand the rhythms of your energy, when you're feeling the energy that feels super powerful to share from. So maybe you feel a bit more like a generator and you want to share in that way at certain times of the month, and that's how you're going to move forward with that. Okay, it's a lot of energy in a really short space of time. So so this is the human design business, okay? So your action is to download your human design chart and overview of how this works in your business. I'm actually going to drop a link for you so that if you haven't got this, you can go get it and start to look at how is this working in my business? How does this influence my business right now? And how can I bring my business more into alignment with that? Okay. I find when I share deep and insightful, it's almost too much for people that don't stick around to listen or read. That's okay. They're not your people. What if they're just not your people and your people come from the more depth and insight and wisdom that you share? Does that make sense? Okay, so meet Jay. So Jay is a love coach. She used this whole framework, like the Board of Truth and this framework. And in only 1 week, she created $17,000 with a 100% conversion rate and with total ease. With a new baby, she said it was the easiest launch that she had ever done. That is what is available for you when you implement that framework into your business, when you start to work with that and simplify everything that you're doing. We don't need to complicate these things. Okay, so the second part, stand out. I'm going to move really fast. I'm realizing that I've maybe, the timing. Anyway, it's all perfect. I'm a 5'2", right? This is how it goes. Okay, the second part, stand out. Why you need to know this. The industry is noisy. Like you can see that it's getting noisier. Remember when I started in the online space, everyone was like, oh my God, it's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. Nobody can make money online, all of these different things. Well, firstly, everyone's cottoned on to the fact that it's not true. Secondly, COVID hit. Thirdly, it creates ease and there's a lot of noise in the space. And that's brilliant because the more competition there is, the more it means that we have an opportunity to really differentiate ourselves, okay? So this standout piece is because there are more people starting online business than ever before. So what differentiates you? And what differentiates you is not doing more, putting more content out, being on more platforms. That's not what it is at all. If you're doing that, then it results in working harder and inconsistent impact and income. We've got to really ground into what differentiates you. So the answer is your differentiation using your human design, because there is no human design chart that is the same as another. They're all different. They're all unique. So even if we're looking at what does it mean to be a generator, that is the energy that encapsulates a generator, but there's so many different types of generator. Even if you break it down to, okay, I'm a sacral 5-2 generator, I'm still different to other sacral 5-2 generators because of the nuances in the human design. So the more that you can recognize this and really tap into your genius, but also embody it, then you become magnetic for everything that you're doing in your business, the sales, the marketing, the funnels, the ads, everything. Does that make sense? So for me, I use this through the lens of the Sovereign Code, which is also my book. I wish I'd got some in the office, actually. They're all at home. In the Sovereign Code, which is understanding your own sovereign code, like how do you connect with your sovereignty, and Human Design Alchemy, which is an embodiment process, and also some beautiful essences that I created. But the reason why I wanted to let you know that is because in your chart, you can know these things, and that's kind of like the Sovereign Code, but then embodying it is where the real transformation happens. So when you look at your chart, what you can see is that there are different things that we can pull out, and I've kind of simplified this a bit, and there's still a lot of information. So the first thing is your strategy, which is how your aura works. Your aura is the energy that meets the world and how the world meets it back. So that's how your strategy works. Your authority is your decision making. So that is how you're designed to make decisions. Imagine if all of a sudden you knew that every decision you made from your authority was the right decision and you could trust in that. There's no more decision fatigue. There's no more questioning. There's no more doubting. It's literally just tapping into, this is my decision and it's come from my authority. Your profile is a little bit like your personality, a little bit like your personality, but your profile actually also influences how you're designed to market, the tone of your marketing messages to an extent, the strategy you use to grow your audience and to expand your audience, and traffic strategies if we want to talk marketing and all of those things. And then your incarnation cross is your life theme. It's kind of like, the way I see it is like the plot line to your life story. It underpins everything. When we look into the chart itself, your defined centers, this is where you have magnetism and your empowered strengths. Your channels are made up of 2 gates, but this is also your strengths. This is where your energy flows. This is what is unique to you and how you use it. Your planets here, they give lots of energy themes. So depending on the planet, for example, your Mercury will give you an idea about how you're designed to communicate. Within this, you can identify how your expansion works, what your biggest money block, I don't like the word block, that's a whole different story, what your biggest money block is likely to be, what your vocation is, what your gifts are, what shines out of you the most. There's a lot you can start to pull out from your planets. The undefined centers are where you have wisdom, because you can feel so many different things in those undefined centers. They also are where you've got potential blind spots, because that's where you're more likely to receive conditioning from the world. Now, the reason why I say potential blind spots is because I don't want you to think, okay, I've got an open head center, that means I can't focus, for example, which is what happens a lot when people start to explore their human design. They see the undefined centers and go, quick, I've got to fix this, or I've got to do something. I'm like, that's not what it means. That's not how I work with this at all. You come from a place of empowerment, and then you can start to explore, where are these things not of service to me anymore? It's not about fixing. It's not about quickly, we've got to do something with this. And it's not about creating more ideas that sorry, I just got super disconnected from the chat. Hold on 1 second. The reflector version of this is the front cover in the chart. Okay, well, I'll have to have a look at that because Mercury. So thank you for letting me know, Emma. I'll have a look. So with all of the pieces that you have access to in your human design chart, you can really start to tap into, what is your genius? What am I putting through? What is the piece that is most aligned for me? What is the point of differentiation that I have that other people do not have? Instead of trying to figure it out from, like, how do I, I don't even know how you figure it out any other way anymore, to be honest. But there's lots of different strategies or trainings or things you can go and figure out your point of differentiation. Honestly, it's just this. If you get this in your human design, that's what it is. So a little example of this, I was recently at an event, and I went to this event thinking I'm going to talk to all of these people about human design. Well, I couldn't because I lost my voice. So what I actually had to lean into was my genius and my embodiment of that. And because of that, even though I was quiet, I really just tapped into my embodiment of, okay, this is what I'm here to embody. This is what my point of difference is. This is my genius. This is my differentiation. So I really tapped into how I was able to use my energy versus my voice. And so many people came, we had great conversations. There's some people here watching who I met there as well, and had, the most incredible connection with people, even though I literally couldn't speak. This is what I want for you too. You don't have to use your voice or create more words or create more marketing. Your energy is going to do the work for you when you can tap into what differentiates you. So when we're talking about embodiment, yeah, there is a lot of info in the chart. Yeah, that's okay, Emma. You didn't distract me. Open head center, right? I'm like, okay, I'm looking. There's so much info in the chart. What do you consider a genius? A mix of all of those things. Well, I can't go into that now because the way that I work with it is it pulls out different things depending on what you're looking at. If you're looking at, what are my gifts, then I look in a different place too. If you want to look at what is my genius when it comes to my life work or how I message that. And it's so different for different people. So it's kind of a mixture of all of those things, but then we really focus on what is prominent in that moment, depending on what you're looking for. Does that make sense? But in general, there's lots of different ways to look at it. Okay, so embodiment. Let me talk to you about embodiment. I want to be really clear about what this is, because embodiment is the real depth of transformation when it comes to human design. So embodiment is how you come into your body. It's about living in integrity with your human design. It is the answer to your magnetism, because when you start to bring what you know about human design into your body and you start to live in accordance with it or do business in accordance with it, actually it's going to become more magnetic in your energy. It's going to become more magnetic in what you're putting out into the world. So it's going to create more alignment and opportunities, and the right people are going to come, and people are going to say yes easier to your sales and all of those pieces. What it also brings you is your confidence, clarity, and certainty, because all of a sudden you know that this is how you're designed to be. When people discover their human design, it's like a coming home, like permission to be who you always thought you were, but the world said you're too bossy, or you're too loud, or you're too much, or you're too this, or you're too that. And it's like the world slowly kind of layered all of this conditioning on, but actually you can shed it all and have this real confidence, clarity, and certainty, which is, of course, the energetic that is going to grow your audience and sell your offers. It is also about nervous system regulation. Super important. You want to expand your capacity to receive. Nervous system regulation is essential. And it also, like I said, it opens your capacity to receive without doing more. This is where the feminine and the masculine harmony really coexist. It's a really beautiful experience. So your action from this, like I said, I wanted to make this super actionable, and so you could see what you can do right now is to create space every day to connect with and to move your body. Now, depending on your human design, the more you connect with your body and you check in with how you're designed to move, the better it's going to be for you. Because for some people, movement is more like a fast pace, and for some people it's going to be slower. So really tune into your body and ask, how do I want to move today? The more that you can do that, even if you're creating like a couple of minutes a day, then it's going to really anchor you into that embodiment. Okay, so Jo Grace is a nervous system and trauma expert. She's a 5-on emotional generator. So Jo worked with me and we did all of these things that I just talked you through in terms of the energetics, like understanding her human design, bringing out her genius, embodying it. She tripled her income. In fact, she messaged me and said, I've made more money this month than in the last 6 months altogether. So she tripled her income. She's now a paid speaker and prolific podcast guest. That was a bit of a mouthful, tongue twister. She's contracted to write a trauma program for the NHS. She's also a paid group support for high-profile coaches, and she manifested her dream home and moved in under 7 weeks in the most unpredictable, illogical way. And I can attest to that story. I was like, well, of course this happened. So these are the things that can start to happen when you really tune into your human design and embody it. So the last thing I said I wanted to share with you is how you can work with this to create, higher pricing, no matter what is going on in the industry, whether it's in recession, whether it's in boom or whatever. And for me, this really comes back to creating that sustainable business. So you need to know this, because lower isn't always the answer. Pricing lower isn't always the answer to create the, what it is that you desire. When you have a standout business, you can charge what is aligned for you and not dictated by the market, and build a business that works for your desires and energy. Plus, it works in every economy. Who's here for this? Who is here for this piece, right? The thing about this is, I get it. It's easy to say, oh, people are, cost of living, all of those things, let's charge less. There's still a lot of people making a lot of money, and there's still a lot of abundance and wealth everywhere. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, who you're serving. If you are solving something for your soulmate client that she cannot solve for herself, and it creates a genuine transformation in her life, in her business, in her health, whatever it is, then people can find ways to invest in anything. So what we have to do is build a way for you to do that, because if you're working in the lowering the prices, this results in this boom and bust energy and also boom and bust in your bank account, but also worry, lack of freedom, lack of joy. And ultimately you started your business for freedom and joy, and to share a message and impact the world, to create, the ripple effect. So we've got to come back to that. So the answer for this is that your best marketing strategy is to create incredible client experiences and facilitate epic client transformation. That is it. That is the best way to do this. The quickest way as well. Human design as a tool fast tracks client transformation. And this is where the human design business certification comes in. Now, before we talk, I'm going to share with you about the certification. It's not going to be a heavy sales pitch, don't worry. That's really not my vibe. For those of you who know me, you'll know, but that is not my vibe. So this is what I want to say. Basically, what we're talking about is referrals. When you have those amazing case studies, when you have people who've worked with you and then go and refer you to other people and say, oh my goodness, she's amazing. This is essentially how I built my first business. For a marketing agency, I didn't ever do any marketing. A lot of my business now is referrals, and the results that I get for people. So what that means is, I'm not going to read through all these stats necessarily, but I will tell you that referrals means, this is taken from like a white paper. I should have referenced it really, but anyway, it tells you that people who are referred are more likely to buy, 4 times more likely to buy, 70% higher conversion rate, close 69% faster, have a lifetime value which is 16% higher, and they also have a 37% retention rate. Now, can you see, if you're creating epic client transformation and putting it out there through the lens of your genius and your human design, that all of a sudden your sales pipeline is going to be filled. You're queuing, like having a queue. I can't get my words out. What's happening? You're going to have a queue of dream clients waiting to buy from you. Can you see how that can happen? Let me know. So human design for your clients. This is why it's so powerful, why I love human design, because not only is it great for me and how I work in my business, but as soon as I tapped upon human design, I mean, look, I had this, the board of truth, right? I've been working with this for a long time, but I've been telling people how to tune into alignment in their energy based on how I'm designed to as a generator. I'd intuitively already tuned into it before I knew I was a generator, before I started working with human design. When I found human design, it meant that I could personalize every single part of that process based on other people's human design. So all of a sudden, I can know exactly what they're looking for. And we're going to do something fun in a minute. This was the additional thing I wanted to put in. I can know exactly what they were looking for, identify exactly how they can get results and where more support was required, what that support might look like. Also instantly understand communication styles backwards and forwards. I can also support to facilitate decisions, which mean they have certainty. You can integrate your genius into this, because not only for you is it bringing self-empowerment and awareness, but also for your clients, which means you're also increasing your energetic capacity to receive. So all of those things come from knowing how to use human design with and for your clients. Does that make sense? The board, it makes my soul so happy to see it. I love that. Okay, so let's play. I'm gonna tell you something very quickly. When you look at your chart, so this is my chart. When you look at your chart, for those of you who've got your charts in front of you, or you know what your chart is, you can see where I'm defined, like where I have defined centers based on where you are, and look at where you're undefined. Like, where am I defined, where you are undefined? And then if you know what that center is called, you can pop it in the comments. We can have a little play. Couldn't read it properly. I know I can't read it properly either, Lisa, to be honest. My handwriting's awful. I didn't realize I was using permanent marker. So, so if you have a look at this and see where you have undefined centers and I have defined centers, what that says, and you can drop it into the comments if you know what the centers are called, but basically what that means is that that's where you're attracted to me. So for example, if you have this center up here, undefined, this is called the ajna. This is where we have points of views and opinions, but also in business, it's where we can take information and simplify it and create frameworks and structures and concepts. I mean, hello. So if you are coming to me, if you're leaning into me and you have an undefined ajna, that's because you are seeking from me energetically, even if it's not a logical thing, to simplify your business, to know how to create the concepts and frameworks, to be able to understand information that is overwhelming in a way that simplifies it for you. So do you see how this starts to create, like, you can look instantly at your chart and your client's chart and go, oh, okay, this is what they're looking for from me. So if I know a client has an undefined ajna, I can really tune into, okay, let's simplify this. Let's create a system from this. Let's bring the process through. It becomes so powerful because you know exactly what people are looking for and why they've chosen you. Like, that in itself, doesn't that blow your mind? That piece? Oh, Mark Zuckerberg, he says, oh my goodness, look at the quality of this picture. It's no expense spared here. He says, nothing influences people more than a recommendation from a trusted friend. A trusted referral influences people more than the best broadcast message. This is why, moving forward, this is like your best business strategy. Find a way to create referrals, to create results, to share those testimonials. That is really powerful. So explore how you can differentiate on your client experience and your client results. This is how you can move forward with this right now. So remember, I said if you stayed until the end, and I am going to be super quick on the next bit, Remember I said that if you stay until the end, you can get a free human design business audit for your business to see energetically and strategically where you are out of alignment. So I'm going to be sharing how you can do that very soon. First, I'm going to have a little look at the comments and have a little look through here. Okay, so Shamini, when Shamini started working with me, she was a niche messaging coach, and she came to me and really was looking for, how do I bring alignment into my business? And so once we had the conversation and the awareness about what her human design is and how she could bring that into alignment with her business, she said that she had validation of her business, which led to confidence and conviction in what she was selling. She had 19 new clients book in with her, increased her prices, and had her first 10K day, and created even more impact and income and 100% conversion rates because of that confidence and conviction. This energy moves really quickly. When you understand how to work with it, it moves really fast. So I want to introduce to you the Human Design Business Certification. I would love a free business audit. Yeah, I'm getting to that bit. I'm gonna tell you super quickly. I'd love to share it with all of you. I literally want to rewatch it. Oh, you can. It's going to be up here. You can rewatch it. Don't worry. So Human Design Business Certification. This has been such a beautiful evolution of everything that I have created. And we're just coming to the end of the first cohort, and I'm opening up the doors again. So this beautiful experience is available to join now. And I want to share with you a little bit about what it is. So it's the first Human Design Business Certification ever in the world that includes empowered human design, aligned human design business strategy, and embodied energy alchemy. I have done human design certifications. None of them include the business. None of them have included the energetics. So this is the first that brings it all together in one place. So Kirsten, who's currently doing the certification at the moment, she said that she was able to break the cycle of overwhelm and burnout, which is really important for a projector. She said that she was able to be productive and efficient without pushing from a place of alignment, and she's signing lots of dreamy clients and receiving incredibly powerful testimonials of gratitude and transformation. So this is really powerful when we start working with this. So how it works is there's 3 elements. The first element is the sovereign code. You go through the sovereign code to understand human design, how to do a reading, how to integrate your genius, and how to understand it yourself, because you go through this journey as your first client. So you understand yourself better by going through this. Then you go through an assessment, because integrity is everything. And I'm not like, it's a certification, right? It's really important that you understand this. And it's not the same as, oh, I've done some human design courses, and now I understand how to share human design and do readings. That's not what this vibe is. It's, you're going to understand the mechanics on a really deep level. So then you do an assessment to access human design alchemy, which is where you then learn the energetics of human design, how to decondition, and how to navigate expansion, which you also go through yourself, because you're your first client, essentially, as we go through this journey. You also then go through the human design business, which is how to use human design in your business and in your clients' businesses for standout positioning and transformation. Now, this piece is live so that you get my eyes on your business and you walk away from this experience with your business strategy, your funnels, your automations, all of those things set up, but also really deeply integrated into your human design and the embodiment of that. So this is for you if you work with clients. I was going to put a whole list, and I was like, no, it's for you if you work with clients. It's as simple as that, because if you work with clients, what you actually get, if you think about this in itself is its own course that you go through for yourself first, plus then you can use it with your clients. This in itself is its own course that you go through first for yourself, and then you can use it with clients. This is its own course that you go through, as you know, and use it for yourself and use it with clients. If you don't do the business piece, you still get these 2 pieces here, and you also get to use this for your business. But actually, I was like, this is for you if you work with clients. Fundamentally, if you work with clients, if you want to differentiate yourself and position yourself, then this is for you. So it works for lots of different types of businesses as well. So Jules, who is also currently in the certification, she actually uses this through the lens of lots of different ways. Actually, Jules is incredible, but she's used it in a medical study for fibromyalgia, and the results that she already has is that she has moved people from being medically disabled to not medically disabled. This work is literally life-changing. It is so powerful. So obviously she's not used the business aspect of that, but she's used the sovereign code element and the understandings from that to support people to connect with their energy and their purpose. So what you get, I mean, this is a super quick overview. There's more information on the page. You get lifetime access to all the trainings. You get 8 months of mastermind support, which includes Telegram. It includes group calls. It includes nervous system regulation. Plus, you get business building assets. I can't even tell you how many business building assets there are because some of them I keep back and surprise you with. But you get business building assets like you get an audit that converts at 100%. You also get promoted on, so promotion opportunities. You get promoted on the website, which I've just launched, which will be like the Forbes of human design. You get promoted to my audience. There's lots of plans about how I'm going to be supporting you as a certified reader moving forward, like booking readings for you and stuff. You also get to add in additional income streams like these products and things. There's so many things which I've thought about everything. And obviously we've gone through the first one, which is the beta. So I know what works and what doesn't. Plus, essentially you end up with a business which is differentiated, sustainable, and enjoyable. Who's excited about this, by the way? Who is, how deep does this go into gates and channels? Yeah, it goes into, actually what I'll do a little video about the different modules that are in there so you can see, because I will forget things. So I'll do a little video so you can see all the modules. So what you get right now, you get early bird discount if you join before Monday, and that is £1,000 discount. You also get a fast action bonus, which is the human design initiation self-study version, which is worth £999. So if you join in April, you will get access to that so that you can go through your own journey of integrating human design to begin with, because we're not starting until end of May, beginning of June, date to be decided. So you will get access to that so that you can move through. And if you pay in full with this, you will also get a your business and human design session with me, which means that even before we start, we can bring alignment into your business and bring that real sense of clarity so you know how to move forward energetically and strategically. The investment right now is, well, hold on. The investment is 5,000, but if you join before Monday, it's 1,000 off. And that also then applies to the payment plans as well. So let me drop the link into the comments for you. Oh, hold on. Where am I doing this? On the phone. Super slow. Okay. So all of the information is there. You can go and have a look. It is an application process because for me, one of the most important things is that you're investing in what is essentially a business in a box, if we want to describe it that way. I guess I just did. So you have to finish all of those pieces. So it's important that you have got that commitment to begin with, because I'm committed to everything that is going to have you complete that process and build that into your business. So the application form is really important so that I can see that this is a great fit for you and that you're committed to this journey. So you will fill the application form in and then I will message you and we'll go from there. If you want to have a call as well, that's totally fine. Drop me a message. Let me know you want to have a call. If you've got questions, you can message me and let me know you've got questions too. So this is Charlotte. Charlotte worked with me in a mastermind and then she joined the certification. She says she's got more confidence in herself, her life and her business. She's got a deeper connection with trust, self-awareness amplified. She will be one of the first human design business certified consultants in the world. She's already been invited to be a human design contributor for an international magazine. She's been making easy human design sales. And she literally told me that she is smug as fuck that she's doing this. Sorry if there was little ears around. That she's really smug that she's doing this. She says that she tells her husband every day that she's really grateful for that she's doing this. So I'm going to come to all the questions in a minute. I'm going to get to the end so that people know how to get the audit in case they need to leave. So with this certification, you will be more embodied, empowered, and magnetic. You will know what your genius is and how to use it to differentiate. You'll instantly know how to support your clients and fast-track results. You will design and build a sustainable, successful business, and you'll be happier, healthier, wealthier in every area of your life. Ebony said, so Ebony is in, I copied, spelled her name wrong. Sorry, Ebony. So Ebony is in this certification at the moment, and she already has a lot of human design knowledge. So she said, having read a lot of the human design books, you are spoiled to have Shari's interpretation, because she is so eloquent and has framed and put models together that explain things in a more efficient, more concise way than many of the books. So I'm like, my 2 is very happy about that. Okay, so free business audit. What is my last page here? Oh, it's a blank one. It's fooling me. There's a false page. Okay, so for those of you who are still live, what I would love for you to do is drop me your biggest aha from this masterclass so that I can share it with other people. And then once you've dropped it, I can see, obviously on my phone, that you're dropping those ahas. And then I will DM you a link to book your business audit. So yeah, your biggest aha. Like, what was your biggest breakthrough? What was your biggest aha? And what I'll also do is answer questions now. So if you've dropped questions, I'm going to come back and answer them. And if you have questions, then drop them into the chat as well. Okay, so many comments I missed. I think I've done pretty well with timing. I know we're 8 minutes over, but I think I've done pretty well. Loving the board, couldn't see it properly. I'll take a picture of the board. In fact, I think there's a video of it in here as well, but I can take a picture. My root and spleen open. Oh, okay, Arta. So with the root and spleen, then it means that if you don't know your biggest aha moment, you could put what you loved about it, just anything that you loved about it, really. Your root and your spleen, that means that what you're looking for from my chart, for example, is to create that consistency, that sustainability in your business, and to support you to move beyond the fears and bring you back to a sense of vitality with it. Both our ego and solar plexus open. Yeah. Okay. See, there's a lot of people who come to me with undefined Ajnas, which is why I lent into that. And also because on the Ajna, one of my channels is actually in my incarnation cross. So like that's unconsciously emanating out there as well. So the Ajna is an interesting one. I have quite a lot undefined except for the bottom 3. I literally want to rewatch it all. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to skip down to the questions. So Jess, let me answer this a little bit for you. We go into the mechanics of human design, the charts. We go into types, obviously, profiles, channels, gates, planets, incarnation cross, variables. What else do we go into? Definition. Yeah, there's a lot that we go into for the mechanics of reading the chart, but I'll do a little walkthrough of what's in there. And then in terms of the embodiment, we look at where is the embodiment, where is the disempowered, where is the empowered, what does that look like in all of the aspects of the chart as well. So all of those different elements, like profiles, like the gates, all of those things. So okay, any more questions? You can totally drop them as well. What kind of certification is it? Is it your own process, or it is my own process? Hello, it's the board of truth. It's my own process, but it is going through CPD so that it is formally recognized. And it is, for me, what is really important is that it's the highest quality, the highest standard, the highest level of transformation for you, for your clients. So it will have CPD accreditation as well, but it is my own process. And the way that it works is that some are self-study modules. So like Sovereign Code, it's all self-study. You can go through that. There's short bite-sized pieces which have resources and things as well, so that when you finish, you've got that library of resources. Then the embodiment part of that journey is where you go, again, it's self-study, you go through that, but there's a whole load of tools that you can use as well. I mean, there are some tools that I wish I could tell you about, but I really like to hold them back to surprise and delight you. But genuinely speaking, they have been, in fact, I'm going to ask my current ladies in the current cohort to explain in their own words, what they what they thought when I opened up all of the different resources for them. And then the business section is all live so that I can support you directly with your business as well. This is all new to me, so it's all an aha moment. Amazing. So as a projector, and to borrow people's audiences. So as a projector, it doesn't mean that you can't build your own audience. It doesn't mean that you can't do that. And I guess one of the things that's really important is that we don't go into like generalizations. And I know it's kind of hard with human design because there's like generators and projectors, and you know, that's how we get used to talking about it. But one of the things, and this is what I talk about a lot in the certification, is you really want to understand the nuances of one person's chart, like your own chart, because it's not enough to say you're a generator, so you're designed to like go out and create things. Well, there's different things that we start to look at within that, or you're a projector, so you don't have energy. Well, no, there are a whole subsection of projectors who are energy type projectors. So it works very differently depending on your actual personalized chart. So this is one of the reasons why I created this, was because I saw a lot of generalized information that was not very empowering. And also there is like, we can all read a book about human design and be really interested about it and then go, okay, now I can talk about human design. To an extent, yeah, and that's a great way to learn, but we have to recognize that there's also the nuances, and it's not until we understand the nuances that we can start to really build what is true for ourselves and our human design, or also the person that we're working with. So that's really important to me as well. So yes, you can go borrow other people's audiences, and you can also build your own depending on what your chart is. And if it lights you, like if it lights you up, then do it. But borrowing other people's audiences as a projector is a really great strategy because it inherently requires you to be introduced into an audience that is already created. So it means that you already have that recognition, which is important in order for the invitations, right? So for a projector, everything comes back to being recognized. Does that make sense? Was it Sarah? Did you ask me that? Oh no, Ashley, does that make sense? I love all these ahas. Okay. I think the board you had in your hand, I've never thought about it that way. Amazing. Yeah, Anna. Oh my goodness, the open enrollment thing is so true, right? So true. And this is the thing: if you have things in your business that feel icky, then we gotta get rid of those things, right? But what happens with human design is you get to see, okay, is this genuinely not aligned for me? And or is it something that I'm sabotaging, or is it part of expansion? Because they can feel very similar. So it's not until we really understand not only our human design, how we're designed to be, but also then where we're more likely to feel disempowered, or where we're more likely to create. So for example, I have an undefined, I have, hold on, let me just, okay, Frankie, I'm going to come back to you. It's really hard to give like that one thing to everybody when we're working with human design. So I will drop you a message. But when we're working with human design, of course, there's lots of different nuances. And I could talk, I mean, you've got access to, for example, trainings about the different human design types. And they all have, like, they're nearly an hour long. So it's very difficult to say how it's going to be for a reflector. No, I know, and I understand that. I understand that it's like, okay, what does that really mean for a reflector, and doing things on different days and all of those things. So I just want to just respond to you. It always feels like I'm just going here, there, and everywhere and doing things. Right. Here's what I will say. Let me take this, stop this screen share a minute, because I want to get big on the screen. Here's what I will say. Every single business, I tell every business, no matter what your human design type is, to look at what is your sustainable selling system, because that gives you a masculine foundation in your business that is consistently generating impact and income for you. And that doesn't have to be funnels and ads and all of those things. It's like, what is sustainably what is your sustainable selling system? And then how do you work on top of that? And I say that for every business. I just didn't go into that today, but actually everyone here, you need a sustainable selling system, which is the foundation of your business. That is going to create this masculine structure that allows you to be in the feminine. So whether you're a reflector or a generator or like whatever your human design type is, you need time and space away from the business. You need to be connecting with your feminine. You need to have that safety and security to tap into your intuition and then to follow it in the way that works for you. So for every business, I would say have that. So for reflectors, so for you, Frankie, that masculine structure piece makes it feel more safe, certain, comfortable, supported to be in that. Okay, well, today I want to do this and today I feel like this, because then we're not in our head. We're not in that space of, yeah, but I have to sell or I have to do this. It's genuinely coming from a place of, well, now I can follow my intuition and I can be guided and I can flow with that easier. Does that make sense? Let me know if that lands. Okay, perfect. I've totally lost my thread now of what I was saying, which is all perfect. It does. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, Arta. So those kind of things, Arta, I cover more in readings, to be honest. Otherwise, everyone will want me to tell them their profiles. But I will say that your profile line impacts kind of the range that you are working with in terms of how you're designed from that one aspect. And again, you have to look at the whole chart in its holistic energy. Oh, one of your undefined sentences. Oh, thank you. I'm going to do this and then I'll do that as well. Thank you, Katie. Keeping me on track. So with the profiles, it's going to talk to you about it. It lets you know kind of this is the vibe that people want to see from you. So with one energy, people want to know that you're bringing them certainty through the information that you get because you love to deep dive into information. It also means that the one energy is kind of more intra personal. So then there's specific strategies that work better in general for that energy as an example. Okay. Yeah, the undefined centers. Okay, so my undefined emotional center, that's probably the one I was going for, has been really interesting to work with because it has the biggest gift for me. And it also has been, it doesn't have the biggest gift. It has the biggest gift for me right now because I've done so much work on it. It has all of this wisdom. And it's been a real journey of understanding that I feel other people's emotions because that's open and I feel them a lot stronger than they are. So it can feel really overwhelming. It can feel really kind of physically overwhelming. However, what I've been able to understand is that it's the biggest gift because then I can feel people's emotions. So when I'm coaching people or when we're doing energy work, I can feel where we need to navigate or where we need to stay away from, where I can lean into it a little bit more or where we need to lean back. And it's able to really bring that that sense of, I want to say like acceptance, but more appreciation of it. Whereas when I first was figuring out human design, it was like, oh my goodness, this is really bad because of all the patterns and conditions like numbing out or drama seeking or creating inconsistent income and all of those things that I was doing. That doesn't mean if you have an undefined emotional center, that's what you're doing. They're just the things that potentially show up. So all of those things I feel had really disconnected me from the gift of what was there. So when you're working with me, I'm always connecting you to what empowers you and what is the gift. Because your soul designed you. There's no coincidences, right? There's no coincidences at all. But your soul designed you in this way so that you can access that wisdom. Does that make sense? Like for me, everything, you know, and if you decide to join, then obviously you get more access to all of these things. The first layer of conditioning that we have is really focused on our perspective of the world. So if our perspective of the world is we need to fix ourselves, like I need to fix myself, hello masculine world that we're in, that's the first thing that happens. You know, when you tell a problem to a man and they're like, okay, what can we do about this? You're like, I just want you to listen. Why do we need to do something about it? It's that kind of energy where we're really stepping into, we don't need to be fixed. We don't need to solve this or do something about this. We get to recognize that it's this really beautiful gift where we're coming from a place of empowerment, and then we can tune into the wisdom. For me, the undefined centers are the biggest portals of wisdom because they are able to feel and experience so much more than the defined centers. So it allows this real expansiveness of tuning into it. Even though, so for example, one of the centers, maybe I'll share my charts super quick. I won't keep you for much longer, but just because I think this will be really interesting for people. I've decided it's going to be interesting for you. Okay, let me share my charts. So, okay. This center here, most of you will have undefined. This is called the ego center. This is the center of self-worth. It's the center of wealth. It's the center of willpower. And so this center is the one that is the most interesting to me to work with, because we're in a world where we're told things like, you're worthy if you work hard, you're valuable if you're rich, or you've got things in the bank, or you've got great numbers, or those kind of things. You're designed to have consistent willpower. If you don't have willpower, then there's something wrong. And all of these things that kind of bring this sense of success, or what is wealth, or what is value and worth, that we live in this distorted, disempowered masculine paradigm. I'm not a patriarchy basher. That's not my vibe at all. But what I recognize is that the masculine paradigm that we're in is disempowered. And so the disempowered learnings that we get from that really live in this center very specifically. So the patterns and conditioning in this center can be quite intense when we start to look at it, because it's where we are looking for external validation to prove that we're worthy, or where we think we need to undercharge and overdeliver to prove our value, or that we need to work hard. But actually, if your ego center is undefined, the way that you're designed to attract wealth is by who you be and not by what you do. And that's not to say that you don't have to do things. You still have to do things. I mean, we still have to take action. But it's not about, okay, I've got to do more, or I've got to prove that I've got willpower, or that I'm committed to this, or that I'm motivated or dedicated or goal setting and all of those things. That's not what it's about. The more that you can understand these parts of your chart and tap into, okay, so if it's more about who I be than what I do, how do I tune into that? Well, empowering into your human design, embodying your human design, knowing the parts of your human design that tell you when to move and what things that are right for you is going to give you that sense of trust in using your energy in the right way, not only from the perspective of alignment and magnetism, but also from the perspective of vitality and sustainability in your body, so that you are healthier. Does that make sense? I can literally talk about this stuff all day. Can you tell? Okay. I can't believe how interesting this all is. Thank you so much. Amazing. Oh, thank you, Katie, for sharing this as well. Is it possible to receive a human sign reading from you as well? Yes. Who is asking that? What I'll do is, where are all my comments gone? Arte, yes, I will drop you a link where you can book in a human sign reading. Lovely. Okay, perfect. Yes, for me, it was nonsense about goal setting, that we need to achieve measurable goals. It was so not working for me, yeah. Whereas my son, he has a defined ego center. So I see him go, right, I'm going to achieve this, because he's motivated in that moment. And then he sets his mind to it and he does it. And that's like working with his human design. It's all different. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you being here and for being in this journey and allowing me to share with you. So many ahas, definitely need to re-listen. Amazing. The information about the certification is there. There are only 20 spaces. That's the other thing I didn't say. There are only 20 spaces. And once they're gone, that's the cohort is filled. The cohort will start end of May, beginning of June. I've just got to confirm the date with that. And any other questions, keep dropping them. I'm going to go through. So when I get home, I'll go through all of these questions and then all the comments and reply to you anyway. If you have questions about the certification, then DM me, drop me a message, or just write in here. If you have already shared your aha, then I will be sending you a link to book your audit. So just to give you a heads up, there is no more space in my diary this week. Next week I'm in Malta, so the audits will be the following week. But I will drop you the following week onwards. So I'll drop you the links so you can book from then on. Anything else I have to say? If you've dropped your breakthroughs and ahas, I will be sharing them with this masterclass as I continue to promote it and the replay of it. But if you would prefer to be anonymous, then please let me know. I have no issue with that at all. I can take your name out. Perfect. I think that's it. I feel like I've covered everything. What a day. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. And I am so looking forward to welcoming any of you who decide to join the certification into the certification. If you are interested in integrating this into your business, by the way, and not the certification necessarily, if that doesn't feel like it's the right route for you right now, then let me know, because I also have a special offer for the human design business aspect specifically, which is running in April as well. So I can send you information about that too. Okay, thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. I love you. I'll see you soon.